Good morning. A conversation came up about time, space, and causation. It's a very commonly talked about principle that says in enlightenment, for example, in enlightenment what one is trying to do is transcend time, space, and causation to experience the truth, the reality, the Brahman, the Atman, the Purusha, the Shiva that's one with Shakti, all of that. Anyway, time, space, and causation. The word causation, often we don't understand what it's referring to. Time. We all know about time. There's a very commonly spoken of principle that says be in the now, be in the now. And we overlook often the word space. The thing that I want to mention to you is that the real key to transcending time, space, and causation is actually space. When you talk about time, if you try to be in the present, notice for yourself the way your mind operates. Mind automatically goes to the past and goes to the future so that it can find that reference point in the middle that is now. And so when you try to do now, mind brings up memories and is planning the future. Notice that for yourself. Trying to end the chain of causation is one of the ways of describing what commonly most all of us, probably truly all of us, not just most, want to do when we start learning meditation. We say, oh, teacher, how do I get my mind to shut up? How do I get rid of this monkey mind? And what we're in effect trying to do is attempt to stop or block the chain of causation. Causation, in its simplest way of talking about, is simply observing that the mind does this, then this, then this, then this. It processes in a way, it may move all over the place, but it's constantly in motion from one thought or impression to the next and next. One leads to the next, leads to the next. And that's causation. Simple cause and effect. There's something that leads to something else. That's the chain of causation. So when you attempt to break the chain of causation, it's extremely difficult. Most of us really find it virtually impossible. When you try to be in the now, in the present moment, you have that problem of bounding it with past and future, neither one of which is in the present. But notice with space that something very different happens. It's much more accessible. I was out walking this morning. It's relatively easy to walk in the door of the ashram and come here and sit down in this space, on this couch, in this space. And when we sit for meditation in space, then what do? We become aware. First we become aware of our body. And if I'm aware of my body, I don't have to be aware of the rest of the universe to be aware of this body. I don't have to bound my body by other objects in the world and universe and other people. It's just my body. And so it's easy to be aware of the space of my body. Then as I move inwards through my systematic meditation, I may bring my attention to the breath at the bridge of my nostrils and the feeling sensation of air coming in and coming out. And notice that this is space. You may read or hear in common language, put your attention in the space between the breasts, in the space of the heart, or the space of the Ajna chakra, the eyebrow center. These are space. When you bring your attention to this space, again, example of breath, and all I'm doing is feeling the air coming and going, what am I saying to my mind? I'm saying, in effect, mind, stay in this space. Don't wander over here, mind. Don't wander over here or up there or down there or off into this fantasy land in this field of mind here where we do dreaming, whether it's sleep dreaming or daydreaming. We're saying to the mind, mind, just simply rest here in this space. And if you rest in that space very, very gently and just feel the air coming and going, you'll notice for yourself something, playfully said, magical happens. Past and future just sort of go poof. They fall away, and I'm just here in the now. How? Because I'm regulating space. I'm bringing my attention into this space. And what happens to the chain of events of mind doing this and this and this and this and this? The chain of events stops. That's causation. And so this, we can experience what I'm talking about. We can experience this at the earliest levels of meditation, and then over time and practice, it just gets richer and richer and richer and deeper and deeper and deeper. But this is not a principle that you have to wait 20 years before you can start to practice. We can all do this immediately, simply being aware of the reality that if I emphasize space, time and causation will, so to speak, come racing behind. So when you are doing your meditation practice, or even for that matter your preparation for meditation, if you're doing postural yoga practices, which I hope you are, as preparation for meditation, what do you do in relation to space? You stay in that space. If you're a mat user, then your space is your mat. And when you're in the posture, the space is that physical posture. And then when you move into your meditation itself, what do? You spend some time meditating on the body, then meditating on the breath, and then going beyond through the field of mind, possibly following Om or mantra, or rising and following it into silence. And so what's the key throughout all of those practices? It's space. So if you want to move beyond time and causation, train your mind in space. Be in this space, or this space, or this space, or this, then this, then this, for example. Space. It's all about space. Ultimately, it's all about Om, of course, we all know. So play with it. Let me know how it's working out for you. Play with it a little and notice, make your own discoveries. And I'd love to hear how those discoveries are serving you. Okay? So, alrighty, thank you for visiting. Thank you for playing. And remember, it's all about Om. Om Tat Sat. Om. That alone, Om is what it's all about. Om is what's happening. Om Tat Sat. Bye-bye.